Hi, everyone. I'm Stacy Heisman with GI Jobs Magazine, and today I have a special guest coming from Brentwood, Tennessee. His name is Jason Medlin, and he is the Vice President of Facility Operations for CoreCivic. So, hi, Jason. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us today. I know you're really busy, so we won't take up too much time. You actually have a really big job, and I think it's important that we let you get back to that job. So, before we unveil what you do, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about your past service. Tell us a little bit about what branch were you did you serve in? Tell me a little bit how long you served and what your MOS was.
Great. Well, thank you. I joined the Army in 1991. I served for 5 years active duty. Then I had 3 years of inactive reserve. I was a 95 Bravo 20 Victor 5 was me. I was an MP sergeant as a military police investigator.
There you go. Okay, but that you just didn't that wasn't your first experience with the Army, was it?
No, my father and a number of my uncles, my grandparents all had a long service in the military. My father did 35 years in the military, retired as a CW5, and I think they were a great example of opportunities the military provided both for building a career, building leadership, as well as an opportunity for the GI Bill. And I think I took advantage of all of those.
Yeah, I was reading through your interview questions, and that was a bit of a driving force, wasn't it? The GI Bill, that benefit, particularly. Tell us what you did with that.
Well, I started college while I was in the military, while I was stationed in Korea. So I was able to use some of the funds the military provided through there. And then when I got out, I started with CoreCivic, and I finished my bachelor's degree, and then went on to get a master's degree through the University of Cincinnati.
Okay, that's impressive. And really what you've pulled away from today to have this interview is actually pretty substantial. So let's talk a little bit about who you work for. And kind of what I like about your story is that you started off entry level, but you kind of worked your way up. So tell us a little bit about how you entered into CoreCivic.
Great. Well, I started in CoreCivic in 1997, right after leaving the military. I started as a correctional officer in Youngstown, Ohio, and I moved through a number of positions within the company. I was a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain, assistant chief, chief of security, assistant warden at two different facilities, and I was a warden at two different facilities. Became managing director of facility operations, where I had oversight of multiple facilities. And then my current role, I have 17 prisons that I have oversight of, three managing directors, and my facilities go all the way from California to Arizona, and then up to Montana, and then all the way over to the state of Georgia and Ohio. So pretty wide span geographical region. But great job. Really enjoy getting into the field and spending time in our correctional facilities. It's really meaningful for me. Next week is National Correctional Employees Week, and I intend to visit the facility where I started at Northeast Ohio and
Oh, so,
spend
so
the week with that facility. So it's a great, really, I've had a great journey. The company has provided a lot of opportunities, and I really credit a lot of the promotions and my upward mobility to my military service, as well as the training that the company has provided and the experience through multiple opportunities at different facilities.
And that's exactly what I was going to circle back to that you did for me. Thank you very much. I was going to ask you, what do you think was what did you bring what did the military service bring to this job that allowed you to be so successful? What are some of those characteristics that you learned while serving or as a child, being a military brat?
Well, I think one is being a military brat. My family moved multiple times, so I was open to geographic relocation. I moved multiple times as an Army brat, but also with the company. The military part of my service, and I don't know if it's just the MP branch or being a non-commissioned officer, but I wasn't afraid to take on any challenges. I look for opportunities. I look for challenging facilities, opportunities to showcase the skills. I think the core mission from the military and being an NCO of leadership, the ability to troubleshoot problems, the ability to respond quickly to emergencies, to train others, to coach, to mentor. And then I think a lot of my military police training was really helpful as I progressed from being a correctional officer all the way up to captain. Although I would say, we have a number of veterans serving with us, and they're not all MPs. Some are from the maintenance field, some are from administration, from medical. I think the foundation the military lays for training people to be leaders, training folks to troubleshoot, to analyze problems, to put plans in place quickly, small group leadership, those type things. I'm also a combat veteran, and really looking the number of combat veterans that have come to the organization, whether it's from Afghanistan, Iraq, I was in Somalia or Desert Storm. There's a number of folks that I think that at different stages of their careers are gravitating towards corrections because the paramilitary organization, but it's a field where you really fit in. The skills you learn, the leadership skills are really a great fit for not only our organization, but corrections as a whole.
Jason, you said exactly what I was thinking, which is, when you answered it, but, you don't have to have a military background, I'm sorry, a police background or a law enforcement background to work for CoreCivic. Is that right? And it sounds like there's a place for everybody there.
Yeah, one of the great things about our company is that for your military experience, especially if you have experience as an E4 or an NCO, it really gives you those years of experience towards credits towards leadership requirements or leadership skills that are required. What I found is being a team leader, being a squad leader, quickly I was able to translate that into running a shift, running a building as a sergeant, or running a shift as a captain. Those skills of training soldiers, leading soldiers, interacting with other leaders, giving orders, taking orders, understanding the importance of enforcing policy and procedure, SOPs, all those type things. It's really a great fit because most soldiers or folks that come from the military are used to that environment where there's very rigid, very standard requirements, and it's a matter of getting to learn it. I think the correctional environment is more about leading staff, leading offenders, than it is having the skills that and having the skills that are associated with law enforcement. Leadership is much more important than I'd say any other skill you have.
Hey, I tell you, Jason, this is a great interview. I learned something every time I interview a successful transition veteran, but this one was really interesting to me because it shows how successful you've been with just this foundation and how that's taken you. And I really appreciate you spending your time with me today and telling me a lot more than I knew before about CoreCivic. I think it's fantastic. So thank you, Jason, for your time. I appreciate it. And everybody out there from GI Jobs, Jason Medlin from Brentwood, Tennessee, and joining us today. So thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.